Dodai San, meaning third foundation, is the third Sho Kobudo kata, as the name suggests. It is the first kata in the Sho Kobudo system to deviate from the classical eye pattern on the floor. This kata incorporates two 45-degree angles as you come backwards. It is very important in terms of stance shift and power into your technique. All punches in Dodai San target the diaphragm, not the nose. So make sure you don't get confused with Dodai Ni here. To quote David Moriarty, it is important to keep practicing this kata because it will improve all your future katas. These stance shifts that are incorporated here help a great deal to add power to a technique, which you will see in the instructional video. The bow differs largely from those of Dodai Sho and Ni. First you open your hands and slowly come to Kyosuke with your left foot, as usual. You prepare quickly with the right fist by your ear and the left knife hand out. After that, you bring your right fist out and the left knife hand back, slowly. The hands meet at a 45-degree angle to the ground. The lower arm at a 45-degree angle downward and the upper arm at a 90-degree angle to that, so that the angle to the ground overall is 45 degrees. Now you will pull both hands in and then bow out slowly. Make sure you pull in before you bow out. And then come back to the 45-degree position where you started your bow. You will prepare by opening your hands under your chin as opposed to over your head in Dodai Ni. And then slowly, calmly come back to Yoi like a sleeping volcano. That's the imagery in this bow. And just like a volcano, your first move will explode. You will explode to the left side. As you know by now, the mode of action in the kata is always look, prepare, block. In order to see our stance shift, let's look at that from a different angle here, right from the front. You will explode left by first looking left, then preparing, stepping with the left into a left fighting stance, your right foot stays where it is, and middle block with the left. Then, right away, step wide into a left forward stance and throw a right reverse punch to the diaphragm. Now, the next time, you will do this to the opposite direction. You prepare for a middle block with the right hand, so you look over your right shoulder, transfer your weight onto the heel of the left foot. This is important because you want to use one pivot point only in order to block. As you can see here, stay on my heel and block. And then watch my stance shift here. My heel stays where it is, and I carry my weight forward into my strike, carrying all my mass into my attack. You gain reach and strength through this. Now, as you can see, these segments are done block, punch, hesitate, block, punch, hesitate. Now, this completes the first segment, really. Here, you will hesitate, and now let's look at it again from a close-up angle. Now, you'll bring your left hand in and your right hand out while opening both, palm up. They meet halfway and both retract, as you can see here. They snap down at a 45-degree angle to the ground, palm down. Push your defeated opponent behind you and pull yourself up on it. This is the bunkai of the kata. Your hands stay at the same distance. You take, bring your left hand to your hip, so the right arm will be parallel to your left arm. You look to your left, basically 90 degrees forwards, and end up in a cat stance. Then prepare for an augmented knife hand block, your right hand coming out. Step forward slowly into a left fighting stance with a slow augmented knife hand block. Here, hesitate again. Now, this is a really nice segment. You will step into a right forward stance. Your left hand comes out on the left side, circling and pushing down. It builds up some centrifugal force to take down an opponent's guard. Then, the right hand forms a knife hand as well and comes in to pierce the diaphragm of the opponent. Now, to focus this technique, you can see there the elbow sets on the back of the wrist of the left arm. Now your arm is slightly bent at this time. In place, dig deeper into the opponent's diaphragm, turn your hand to face up, and tension push up. You drag up into the opponent. Then at the top, flip your hand and dig in even deeper, and tension push downwards Here again, you hesitate. Now, from a different angle again, let's look again straight front. Here is a very, very challenging spin. You'll spin 360 degrees into a left forward stance with the left knife hand strike palm down. Now, in order to spin right here while you're standing, as you can see here, transfer your weight onto your right heel. You want to have your center of gravity over your pivot point as to have a stable, quick spin. By only spinning on one part of the foot, you minimize friction and spin faster. This will also be useful for several kicks later, in straight fight or in self-defense. Now, as you can see here, prepare in close with the left hand and make your entire body come over that pivot point of your heel. Due to the conservation of angular momentum, if your body mass is closer to your center of the rotation, you'll spin faster. So you spin counterclockwise into a wide forward stance. Make sure it's a forward stance at this point, otherwise you can't really retain balance that well at this point, and you will fall over. So make sure you step into a forward stance. Focus the technique and the spin at the same time to utilize the spin for power, and then step forward into a right forward stance with a right reverse punch. Hesitate. Now, just like in Dodai Sho, prepare for a middle block. As you can probably guess, here the segment again will be a middle block and then a reverse punch. Transfer your weight on the heel of the right foot. Spin 270 degrees counterclockwise into a left fighting stance. Middle block with the left. Make sure you don't spin too far. Even I have problems with this sometimes. This is a very challenging spin, and that is why it's good to keep practicing this. Then step wide, carrying your weight into the punch with a right reverse punch. Prepare, now with the hand that punched, for a right middle block. Transfer your weight onto your left heel. Step to the right with your right foot so that your heels line up for a fighting stance, which I already did, and now I'm stepping onwards at this point. I'm already throwing the left reverse punch here into the forward stance. See how the heel rotates. Hesitate. Now, punch underneath your left hand with your right, catching your opponent's guard. Retract both hands. You pull your opponent off balance over your front knee. That has to be bent for this, otherwise this does not work. Now, rotate into a left forward stance, facing 45 degrees to where the mirrors are in this case. Double X strike with closed hands to the throat as such. Then open your hands, grabbing the opponent's collar and choking him by opening and grabbing, then set back, uncrossing your arms. So now you throw a right front kick and land in a right fighting stance with a right four-fist punch. You punch with the front hand. Then, with the second punch, step again into a right forward stance with shoulder rotation, bringing your left reverse punch in and your weight forward so you have a strong punch. Both punches to the diaphragm. Now, you'll repeat this segment at the other 45-degree angle. So catch your opponent's guard. Now you have to turn your hand upside down in order to retract properly. Then, step wide with your right foot, right forward stance 45 degree in the other direction. Double X strike to the throat, grab and choke your opponent. Throw a left front kick here. And this front kick, the height of it will depend on what rank you are. So if you're starting to learn this kata, just go for groin level. It is better to learn to have a focused front kick than a very high front kick. You can devastate an opponent by kicking to the groin. You don't have to kick to the face. If you can, obviously, that will take your opponent down even faster. But progress as you can progress. Now, again, landed a left fighting stance with a left four-fist punch, step wide into a left forward stance with a right reverse punch. Hesitate here. Now, your next opponent has grabbed you. Your right outward hand comes to prepare by your face, palm in. The left prepares hip level, palm up, like so. You'll step into a left forward stance, facing straight backwards on your grid line, as you can see here very nicely. Then, you will push your opponent's hand off. You do this by your right hand coming down and rotating so that it arrives hip level, palm down. Left hand turns to face outward here, with knife edge upward, pushing upward. This manner of pushing up and down develops the most strength by positioning your arms so that the strongest muscles in each respective motion are utilized. Basically, what you practice here teaches you how to push off an attacker's grab most effectively. If you do it slowly, you learn it more consciously. Now, you'll do this again. You'll repeat it with the opposite direction. First, you step up to Kyosuke as your opponent grabs you again. Rotate your shoulders. This actually, here, breaks the opponent's grip to a certain point as well. It weakens his grip a little bit if you rotate away. Now, you step back to a forward stance. after you've flipped your hands here, you step back to forward stance, to right forward stance, and repeat the push with the hands reversed. Right knife edge and left palm push. Now hesitate here. The last two moves in the last segment. You'll look to your right. Once more, transfer your weight onto your right heel for a fast spin. Prepare with the left hand inside, forming a knife hand. Spin on your right heel, 270 degrees into a saddle-like stance with the left knife hand chopped palm down. It's crucial to control your spin because you land, this time, in a stance with your heels lined up. So it's more difficult to retain balance after a spin. Now, make sure you focus your knife hand strike with your spin as well, otherwise the spin doesn't really help you at all. Now, you'll step up to Kyosuke, prepare for a right knife hand chop. Rather than rotating away from your attacker as a usual shoulder rotation, you'll rotate to face him. This is called negative rotation, it gives you more strength in your technique. Now you rotate back away as you come into that last strike. And this is a kiai. Now, as always, the foot that moved last will pull up to yoi. And let's look at the bow close up here. You pull up with your left foot quickly, and then slowly come back to yoi. And we'll repeat the bow just as in the same manner as before, but I will go through it again because now you can see it close up. Open your hands, and now you see how my hands come to my hips, but my back straightens up at the same time. Very good posture, this is important. Then, preparing quickly, you can see here. Now, notice the angle of my arms. And here, notice how I'm looking over the back of my hand at this point. My back is also straight, as you can see. One last thing to notice. Notice at what height the hands prepare for coming to yoi. This is lower than Dodai ni. And you finally come to yoi to finish the kata.